Looking for the perfect video editor that won't cost you anything but not sure which one's right for you? Well, today I'm going to tell you the top 3 video editors in 2025, how they stack up against each other and which one's the best for both beginners and pros. Hey, Mario here from MSpaceLog. I talk about smartphone videography, growing on YouTube and all kinds of cool tech. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Now, let's dive in. Alright, I narrowed it down to the top 3 video editors because in the end, you'll probably pick just one. Plus, it's easier for me to compare these 3 and for you to see which one fits you best. But first, let me give you a bit of background. I started editing videos long time ago because I love making VFX. Back then, there was one suite that was like magic. It was Adobe Premiere and After Effects. But like today, Adobe was all about subscriptions, which were pretty expensive for beginners who just wanted to learn and weren't making money of it. So I searched around and found eTFilm Pro. This was my first experience with video editing and VFX. eTFilm is known for being a lot similar to After Effects and Premiere together, but not as powerful. Still, you could do some pretty cool stuff with it. Just check YouTube for examples. The best part, it had a free version and a paid one. The paid version was one-time purchase and you got to keep it forever. So I learned a lot with eTFilm, especially composing and VFX for a few years, and it worked pretty well. But then I decided to start my YouTube channel and I thought it was time to try another editor. Why? Because eTFilm got bought by Artlist and stopped getting updates, and there were concerns about its future. I wanted a program that was future-proof, so I wasn't wasting my time on something that might disappear. That's why I'm making this video, to show you my top 3 choices, compare them, and let you know which one I picked up and still use today. At the start, I wanted something free, with no strings attached, something reliable for the future and capable of handling VFX without needing a powerful computer. At the time, I had only a small laptop with 8 GB of RAM and a mid-level processor with an integrated graphics card. It wasn't an easy task, but my first pick, mainly because I wanted to start editing quickly, was CapCut. CapCut is probably the easiest video editing software you'll find. It was made for mobile, for TikTok, with tons of effects, templates and a huge community. Why did I pick it? Because it also has a PC version that keeps getting updates and is light on system requirements. You can do auto-masking of your subject, add titles, animations, make your own templates, create subtitles from your voice, the list goes on. And it keeps getting better and better. The user interface is super friendly and it uses a layer structure base, which is common in most video editors. This was my video editor for the first 3 to 4 months when I started my channel a year ago. But soon I needed to look for something else. Why? Because even though CapCut is still free, every time I came back, more and more tools that used to be free were now a part of a subscription. The only reason I still recommend it is because it is still a great program to learn video editing concepts without spending any money. CapCut is on the same level as Filmora, but I picked up CapCut because at least it gives you a few exports per month without watermark. On Filmora, you don't even get that. So I decided to look for something with no strings attached, something powerful and still free. That's when I turned to open source software, and my choice was Kdenlive because it is totally free. It is open source like Blender and it is fast, with low system requirements because it is based on Linux. This professional editor offers lots of features, effects and transitions, and the team only asks for donations to keep improving it. They even have goals for what they will add to Kdenlive if certain donation amounts are reached. Now, About the software itself, it has a more complex interface with 5 main buttons to jump between tasks. It is still layer-based, so if you're familiar with other layer-based video editors, you will feel at home. But once you start learning, even though there aren't many tutorials and videos, you'll get the hang of it quickly by asking on the forums and reading the manual. The interface could use an update, but it works well and it's super functional. You can do things like masking, tracking, stabilization, and voice to subtitles all for free. Kdenlive, it is packed with features. It even has an effects shop where the community shares effects for you to use in your projects. And unlike itFilm and CapCut, Kdenlive has an excellent audio editing and powerful color grading tools. I used this for a while and had no complaints. It is reliable, the playback is smooth, unlike itFilm for example, and you can even apply proxies and lower the frame resolution for easy viewing. But in the end, I still wanted a program that could do cool VFX like After Effects while being free. Well, Kdenlive can handle some of these tasks, but I don't think it is at the same level of itFilm, especially in terms of content and tutorials. So I decided to try something else, something more powerful, and that was also free, capable of producing top-tier VFX. That led me to DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is the kind of software that I always wanted to try, but I was too scared to, because two main reasons. First, it is system intensive. DaVinci Resolve uses up to 5 times more memory than CapCut and Kdenlive together. Second, it uses a node-based interface for VFX. This last one was a real deal breaker for me, but after seeing so many Premiere and After Effects users made the switch, I decided to take the plunge and learn the node system. I also had to upgrade my computer to a beast, but I was determined. DaVinci Resolve has been around for years and the community is strong with tons of tutorials and tools. It quickly became a great replacement for itFilm and even matched After Effects for VFX and compositing. I gotta say, it is amazing. Not only you can learn, edit and do most effects on the free version, but if you also upgrade to the paid studio version, you get awesome tools for life, no subscriptions. Unlike CapCut, where free features turn into paid ones, what you get in DaVinci Resolve for free stays for free in future updates, and even more free features coming. The interface is modern and you can find tons of tutorials on YouTube to help you learn. DaVinci Resolve is growing rapidly with many Adobe users switching to it. It is an all-in-one suite for editing, VFX, audio and color grading. Speaking of color grading, you should know that DaVinci Resolve is industry standard for that, so that should tell you something. The only challenge for me was switching my brain to the node system for VFX. But the node system is only in the fusion part of DaVinci Resolve, which is like After Effects for VFX. The editing part is still layer-based, so you can do a lot of effects there if you're scared of Fusion. But once you get the hang of Fusion, you'll see how powerful it is, and you'll actually understand why Hollywood uses node-based systems like Nuke. With just a few tutorials on Fusion, I made the intro and the title for this video in a matter of minutes. And honestly, the software is super reliable. It might crash or freeze sometimes, but I never lose my work. I just open it up and everything is right there where I left off. This reliability plus the price, it is free, made so many editors switch from Adobe to Blackmagic. You can use DaVinci Resolve for free, but as I said before, you will miss some great features like subtitles from audio, the magic mask, camera tracking and lightning effects. Don't get me wrong, you can edit a full video from start to finish in the free version. But if you're serious about video editing, the studio version is worth it. Okay, so I covered all the pros and cons for each software. But now let's break it down with a quick comparison, highlighting all the advantages and disadvantages. First up, CapCut. CapCut is awesome for beginners. If you're looking to keep things simple with a decent amount of text templates and effects, and you want to make videos fast and easy for social media, this might be the one for you. What I love about CapCut is how easy it is to use. You can create awesome videos quickly, and it works on just about any machine since it is pretty lightweight when compared to others. But here's the catch: it is slowly shifting more toward a subscription model. That said, it is still pretty affordable for what it offers. So if you want something super easy to use that can make great looking videos and you're okay with paying a small subscription fee for more features, CapCut is a solid choice. But if you don't mind missing on some pro tools and you're okay with a few watermark-free exports per month, it is perfect to start learning the ropes of video editing. Next, Kdenlive. Kdenlive is the lightest on system requirements, so if you got an older or slower computer, this is your go-to. This software has a steeper learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, you'll see just how packed it is with lot of features. You can do pretty much everything that CapCut's paid plan offers. The downside, the learning process isn't as smooth as CapCut's. You'll need some digging on forums and rely on a few community tutorials to get the hang of things. Also, since it is open source, updates don't come as quickly as with CapCut, which get updates almost every week. But if you're not looking to spend a dime and don't mind investing time into learning, Kdenlive is the way to go. Plus, it is completely free. Finally, DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is a beast, but there are two things you need to consider before jumping in. Do you have a powerful enough computer to run it? Are you ready to work with a node-based system for VFX instead of a layered one? If you're good on both, then DaVinci Resolve is the ultimate free video editing software you'll need. It's got a sleek modern interface, but don't expect it to be as easy to learn as CapCut. But if you come from Kdenlive, you'll notice that DaVinci Resolve also organizes everything into tabs. One for media, one for editing, one for VFX, sound, color grading, and delivery. The big win for DaVinci Resolve is its massive online community. If you run into any trouble or need any specific effect or tutorial, you can find it in a matter of seconds. That kind of support is key. And the only other software with even more tutorials is Adobe's ecosystem. DaVinci also has a paid version, but the free one already has a tons of pro-level features. You only pay once for the studio version, and the updates just keep coming without extra charges. So if your computer is up to the task and you want to dive into VFX with powerful tools and tons of learning materials, DaVinci Resolve could be your perfect match. So, which video editor is best for beginners, professionals, and which one did I choose? For beginners, I had to say I choose CapCut because I actually liked it so much that I even decided to try out the Pro plan for a month. It is super easy to use, and even though most of its features are becoming paid, it is still a great video editor. There are plenty of tutorials, and if you don't mind paying a small subscription, about $12 a month or $9.50 if you pay for a year, you'll get awesome editing software. It is easy to use, makes professional looking videos, and it is super affordable compared to others. For professionals, I'd go with DaVinci Resolve Studio. Yeah, it is the paid version and it is about $340 with VAT included. But when you compare that with what you pay yearly for Adobe Premiere and After Effects, there's no competition here. Especially when you get the same pro features, if not more, with DaVinci Resolve Studio instead of Premiere and After Effects. I'd only choose Kdenlive if you had an old computer and don't want to spend any money on subscription plans or special features. Even though Kdenlive is more powerful than CapCut, it is harder to learn and find content to help you figure things out. But it is still a solid and reliable third option if you're willing to give it a shot. One thing to keep in mind though is even if you have a decent computer and want to use just a free software, Kdenlive is the only one that can automatically generate subtitles from audio for free. That's right, you can only get this feature on paid versions of DaVinci Resolve and CapCut. So when I say Kdenlive has pro features that you usually pay for, I'm not kidding. That's why even though I put Kdenlive as a third option, if you're going for a free version of DaVinci Resolve or CapCut, maybe it is worth trying Kdenlive to get some effects the other free ones can't do. Now that I've shared my personal choice and differences, it's up to you to figure out what works best for you. Got an old computer with little RAM and don't want to spend a penny? Don't think twice. Go with Kdenlive, the most system-friendly software. Got a decent computer but want something super easy to use with no headaches from complicated effects and don't even mind to pay a few dollars per month to extra features? Then CapCut is the no-brainer choice for you. Got a powerful computer and want a top future-proof software that is also industry standard? Then DaVinci Resolve and later on the studio version is the way to go. Now, before you dive into video editing, you got to learn how to script your videos first. Lucky for you, I've got awesome videos on that. Check out the link in the description below. I hope this guide on these 3 video editors helped you figure out which one to pick. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite video editor. My name is Mario, this is MSpaceLog, and as always, keep on exploring, keep on creating. See you in my next one. Now, I narrowed it down to the top to 3 videos. But like today, Adobe and Premiere together, and Premiere together, and Premiere together, Premiere purchase. So if you keep it, you're gonna keep it forever. Processor with integrated graphic cards. Quase. And huge community with tons of effects, templates, and a huge community. It was made for muito rápido que isto vai. The professional editor offers DaVinci is system requirable in this computer or slow Kdenlive hits the lights for VFX, sound call